Good morning. It is the day after my 14-mile run, and I'm doing my first walk of the day with my dog. So it's about 2.5 miles that we'll do, and then I am going to do a 6-mile hike. So not very long, but it does have quite a bit of elevation gain. I think it's really important to do miles back to back, hard ones for my training. I think that'll really make a difference once I'm out on trail, because it's one thing to be able to do, one day of long mileage, but back to back is when it can get hard. I also will be talking about grit and why it's important and how I've developed mine over the last few years and really become like a different person. So my boyfriend's coming with me, and we're gonna get food first and make it fun because I really don't feel like doing it, but that's part of having grit. He thinks he's cool. This is a very steep road walk. Grit is something that I have come to find myself leaning on the last few years. The first time I heard about the importance of developing grit was in an English class I took a few years ago. The first day of class, my professor talked about a study they did on children learning a difficult subject. They found that the children that were told their whole lives that they were naturally gifted or naturally smart so easily gave up when faced with learning something that did not come easy to them. Once they realized that they had to work hard to learn, they were very negative about themselves and wanted to quit almost immediately. They also found that the children that were told they could learn a difficult subject if they worked really hard fared much better. They were much more willing to cope with getting an answer wrong. They understood that they would have to simply study harder. They understood that when they were faced with such a difficult task, they would have to reach within themselves to find their grit if they wanted to succeed. The researchers found that effort was worth twice as much as talent. So, my professor worked with us on developing our grit throughout that semester. I will never forget it because it came at a time when I really needed it in my life. When I was younger, I really struggled with consistency. When something got tough, that was my cue to give up and do something easier. Although it was not because I was told I was naturally smart. I was just always reluctant to keep going when the going gets tough. Not only was grit needed to complete that difficult class using Zoom during the spring of 2020, but obviously that was the year COVID hit us. That was the year my family life was really difficult. That was the year I hit my highest weight. And that was also the year I learned to dig deep and find my true grit. Hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in any year would require grit. I am finding in the year of 2023 that I am not even on trail yet, and yet my grit is being tested. I am already being faced with people doubting me. The insane weather and incredible amounts of snow on trail is putting people off completely. The March starters are being pummeled with storm after storm, trying to find a way around closures and come up with plans to flip-flop around the trail. Mud, wind, rain, snow are killing the morale. I get the luxury of being at home watching this unfold as a maze starter. I keep going through waves of excitement and then total discouragement when I see people dropping from the trails like flies. I get a lot of comments saying I am too inexperienced for the trail this year. People often tell my boyfriend he's crazy for letting me do this alone. People tell me I am crazy for being willing to do this alone, especially as a female. So it's a good thing I have been carefully growing that grit the last few years. I am not saying that these are all worthless comments and they have no truth to them. They do. But if I listen to people who constantly doubt me, I would never accomplish anything. If I listened to them, I probably would never leave my house because I would be too afraid. I certainly would never have started this channel. I would have never even thought about attempting a thru hike. I am very scared of flying, yet every time I reach for that grit and step on a plane, it diminishes that fear. Without it, I would have never gone to Europe multiple times, or Thailand or Hawaii. I can sometimes be a little nervous to hike alone, and I reach for my grit and I do it anyway. I am really scared to be transparent on this channel, but I do it anyway. When I am running long distances preparing for my marathon, my body screams at me to stop, but my grit will scream back just a little bit longer. When I'm climbing a big hill with my bag fully loaded, my body says I can't do it, but my grit says I can. Some people were so pressed when I said I would like to do the trail in 100 days. Obviously, this might not be the year because of snow, but I know I can do it. My grit says I can do it. And that's true if I work for it. When my mind and others tell me I am crazy for trying the Pacific Crest Trail this year, I reach for my grit and press on. That is the difference between having true grit and not. You simply try. If it doesn't work out for me this year, then I will try and try again. And I'm going to have a blast doing it.